All Ears English podcast. Is All Ears English your one in a million? Welcome to the All Ears English podcast, downloaded more than 200 million times. Are you feeling stuck with your English? We'll show you how to become fearless and fluent by focusing on connection, not perfection. With your American hosts, Lindsay McMahon, the English adventurer, and Michelle Kaplan, the New York radio girl, coming to you from Colorado and New York City, USA. To get real-time transcripts right on your phone and create your personalized vocabulary list, try the All Ears English app for iOS and Android. Start your 7-day free trial at allearsenglish.com/app.
Today, in this part one of a 3-part series, let's talk about idioms with the number 1. Learn how to express who's important in your life and more.
Have you noticed that some English speakers seem relaxed when they speak? They don't search for words, they don't constantly correct themselves, they simply communicate. That doesn't happen because they're perfect, it happens because they've built fluency. If speaking English still feels like hard work, it may be time to understand exactly where your skills stand today. Take our free 2-minute fluency quiz and discover your English level. Go to allearsenglish.com/fluency score. That's allearsenglish.com/FLUENCYSCORE.
Hey there, Michelle. How's it going today?
Hey, Lindsay, I'm good. How are you?
Oh, I'm feeling good. Michelle, who's your number 1 in life? Your number 1.
Ooh, my number 1. I think I have I don't know if I can choose just
number ones.
multiple number ones. Definitely,
yeah.
My family, my husband, my kids, my parents, or my, so I don't know that I can choose one.
Yes.
But yeah, my family. How about you?
Well, I tell my dog it's him every day, but actually it's probably my partner.
Right, exactly. That's so funny. No, dogs can be a number 1. Dogs can be a number 1. Yeah. So today, guys, I'm excited about this. We're going to start a 3-part series about numbers and idioms. So we're doing a 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So we're going to do these. So, Lindsay, sometimes we do this. We teach idioms with themes. And
yes.
I always love this because I think it's good for remembering them.
It actually is. It's a mnemonic device, as they call it, right? When we learn things in themes or sections or chunks that are all related to each other, we do learn better. So this is a little advantage we're going to give our listeners today. But before we get any further, guys, leave us a review on the show. Many students, when they do leave a review, they get their name announced on the show. So we'll try to announce your name on the show and hit follow. Hit that follow button right here on All Ears English to make sure you don't miss a single episode. Right, Michelle?
Absolutely. That's great. And so we're going to do the first episode today over on All Ears English. The second episode about the number 2, well, it's like Sesame Street, but it's not. It's going to be over on the Business English podcast. That is our other show, guys. If you aren't listening to the Business English podcast, it's so much more than business. It's really focused on business English, but we always talk about how in business you're still a human, right? And so it teaches you so many overlapping skills. So we want to direct you there for the second episode, and then we're gonna do number 3 back over here.
Awesome! Can't wait for this series. All right, so today though is all about the number 1. All right, so shall we dive into our first idiom of the day?
Yep. So the first one is the one and only.
Yes, the one and only, right? And this is different from saying my one and only.
My one and only.
This is different because that usually has more of a romantic connotation, like your life partner, for example. But the one and only, what are you saying here?
Yeah, this is used a lot of times when you're introducing someone, like maybe they're gonna give a speech. They're a special person. I might say, and now I'd like to introduce the one and only Lindsay, right?
Yeah, I'd be like, whoa, pressure, no pressure. It definitely
It's like they're
elevates the
important.
person. Yeah, they're important. They're being elevated by that intro. And it could just be silly too. You could just be saying that sarcastically, right?
Right. But with my one and only, you might say like, I might say like, oh, Dan is my one and only.
Yes.
Like that.
Yes,
So you could do that
exactly.
too.
Yeah, the one love of your life, right?
Yes. Oh,
yes.
And then there's the number one. That is what we used in the beginning. And that means the most important.
Yes, exactly. So for example, family is number one in my book. So it's helpful in life if we have our priorities straight, and that way in key decision-making moments, we can make a decision, right? And so many people prioritize family, right?
Yeah.
And so this is a way to articulate that. Okay.
Right.
Good.
So you could say something is your number one, or you could also say, like in the beginning, I said, who is your number one? So it's my number one.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So that means, your number one priority, basically.
Yeah, exactly. And then one hit wonder.
I love this one.
Yep. Can you think of any
Yes.
one hit
So
wonders?
I was thinking of Mambo number 5. Remember that?
Yeah. Was that so? Lou Bega never had another hit. Nothing.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't know. Yeah, probably. Yeah. That was a popular. People loved that song, but it was all about that song. It wasn't necessarily about the artist creating other songs. The opposite of this would be like a Taylor Swift or a Whitney Houston, where they're just amazing singers and they just keep coming out with incredible work, right?
Right. And sometimes you can't tell. I remember when Lady Gaga came out.
Oh, yeah.
And I still remember, because at that time, that's when I used to intern at the radio station.
Okay.
And I remember talking to somebody there, and I was like, yeah, I wonder if she's going to be like really big, or she's just going to be a one-hit wonder. Clearly
not, right? She became pretty big.
Big, yeah. So it's interesting, because sometimes you can't quite tell. I mean, if that person is going to come back or not so much. But
she's really like, isn't she supposed to be really talented musically? Like her voice,
I think she is
really, really talented. Yeah.
It's funny because Lady Gaga, I always liked her music, but I used to find her as a person very irritating. Like but then she became so much more real as time went on, and she seemed to go through some sort of transformation. And I feel like we're kind of at the real Lady Gaga, and I do like her a lot.
That's interesting. Yeah, for sure. I'm trying to think of other one-hit wonders.
I know.
There are some that come out once in a while, but that's the thing. In the moment they come out, you don't know. Their first song, you don't know whether it's going to be a one hit. And sometimes I feel like we refer to the song itself and the singer as a one hit wonder.
Yes, it's true.
Right?
True. I guess if you think about it, it's mostly the person.
It's the person,
are
logically speaking. Mm-hmm.
Right. I mean, here, wait, hold on. I'm just going to look up some one hit wonders and list them off.
Yeah, there's a few there. For sure.
Sometimes you can even be on something and they'll have like a one hit wonder party, Okay. Here. Apparently It's Raining Men is a one hit wonder.
Oh, that was a great one. But they're usually good songs, right? Really?
Right. That's a thing. So, let's see. Monster Mash.
Okay. Yep. And that one always played around Halloween. We love it.
Yeah. That's the thing, is sometimes it's always played around a certain, it becomes popular because it deals with, a certain season or something special, where then you can, repurpose it every year.
So those are some good examples right there. I love that. So good. All right, Michelle. So do we have more examples of where one shows up in idioms?
Yes. So here is one in a million.
Yes.
So what is that?
This is good. So it's just saying someone or something is unique and special. Like my best friend is one in a million. She's been there with me through thick and thin. You're just acknowledging that person is special to you, right?
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. They're unique. They're special. They're important. And then this one is fun. One and done. Have you heard this?
Yes. Yeah. I feel like I've heard this recently a lot. Like I hear it, you are saying that when you hear about kids, right? Oh yeah. If people have just one kid. Sure. Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
That makes sense.
That's how I hear it the most. But then, it could just mean that you have one of something and emphatically you don't want any more.
You took one class and then you learn and then you don't want to go back, or you achieved a level of mastery of something and you're done with that. It could apply to a lot of contexts, right?
Yes. Exactly. But there were moments I remember when I had my first child that I would talk to, friends who were getting used to motherhood and they would be like, oh no, I think I'm one and done.
Yeah. And are those people, did it turn out to be true, or did they end up having more kids, those people?
I think one of them turned out to be one and done. I mean, some of them are. I have a lot of people that I know who decided just to have one child.
Yeah. I mean, it's logical in some way. I mean, daycare's so expensive. The expenses of having a kid in the US right now are astronomical. Yeah. I think a lot of people our age, like millennials, that maybe if they weren't 100% sure if they were meant to be parents, they tried it and maybe they just decided, okay, one's great. I heard going from 1 to 2 is really a bigger change almost than going from 0 to 1, or just a change in a different way, just like a lot.
Yeah, it's funny. It's all different. Because the first one, it's a total change, lifestyle change. Yeah. Your responsibilities, everything changes. Yes. But then when you get to 2, then you look at 1 and you're like,
one was so easy.
Yeah, but it's not. It's just because you're looking at it through someone who's already used to certain changes.
That's true. So it's hard to say. So one and done. A good one that I feel like is kind of trendy right now. Or
yes, I hear this a lot for sure.
Yeah.
And another one is one way or another. So it means somehow, right?
Yeah, exactly. So for example, one way or another, we will make this happen. I made you a promise. So maybe someone is worried that something won't be possible. You promise something to your kid and then it's looking like it's not going to happen. And you say, no, one way or another, I'll make sure this happens. Right?
Yeah. I could have just said this to my son because the Labubus? Oh my God.
No, I don't know what that is. Labubus. What is that?
These little stuffed animals. And I mean, think of like the Beanie Baby craze.
Oh yeah, I remember Beanie Babies. Mm-hmm.
I was thinking about doing a Beanie Baby episode because I have all my Beanie Babies still. But Labubus are like I'll show you a picture of one later. Okay. And I have a Labubu coming in the mail today for him. And let's just say we spent an hour online looking for Labubus the other night. And
one way or another, Michelle.
Exactly.
You made it
so I was, because he was disappointed he couldn't find someone. So I could have said one way or another, I'm going to get you a Labubu, and it's true. Anyway.
Oh, that's good. Good stuff. I love it. All right. Where to next, Michelle?
All right. Yeah, I guess we should go on to the role play now.
Yeah, let's do it. So here, you and we are friends at a party. All right.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Here we go.
Yes.
So how have you been?
Good. Thanks. I didn't know you were coming.
Oh, yeah. I thought I might not make it, but I wanted to make sure I got here one way or another.
Well, I'm so glad you did. You're 1 in a million.
Aw, thanks. Well, friends are number 1 to me.
Well, later, I hear the one and only Megan is coming.
Yeah, that's so exciting. Is she having another baby?
She says she's one and done, but who knows? Oh my gosh, this song.
Oh my gosh, my favorite one-hit wonder ever.
It's a great one. We got a lot of ones in here.
Yep, lots of ones.
Yeah, but the word one and the number 1 comes up all the time in English, right? So it's appropriate, right? It doesn't feel overly, I don't know.
Yeah, it doesn't, repetitive. Like a little bit overdone in this situation, but like, it's just used in different contexts. So it's just the word one that's repeated.
Exactly. And so I said, I can't believe you're here. I didn't think you were going to come. And then you said, I wanted to make sure I got here one way or another. So maybe you had to take an Uber or hitchhike, or I don't know what you had to do to get there, but you had to do something special to get there.
Yes, exactly. And then you said, well, I'm glad you did. You're 1 in a million. So you're saying you're unique, you're special.
Yeah, exactly. And then you said, oh, thanks. Friends are number 1 to me. So you're saying friends are my first priority, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm. And then you said, later I hear the one and only Megan is coming. So you're not introducing Megan Megan. You're not saying, here's the one and only Megan, but you're just saying like, she's special. Maybe she doesn't come to a lot of these things.
Something different about her. Something
different. Yeah, something unique.
Maybe she can never make it, or there's something different about her compared to everyone else that's there, right? All of your other friends. Yeah.
Exactly.
And then you said, is she having another baby? She says she said she's one and done, but who knows, right? Meaning she said she's only going to have one child and she'll be done. So this is an interesting grammatical construction for our listeners, guys. Bonus here. To be
one and done.
One and done. It's not she will have one and be done, or
right.
It's like you're taking it on. I'm one and done, right? We're one and done on this.
Exactly. It's like you're taking that on as kind of your identity in a way. Like,
yes.
I'm one and done. That's how you hear it. People are using it to describe themselves. So
interesting. Really interesting. What else, Michelle?
Mm-hmm. And then you heard a song starting. You said, oh my gosh, this song. And I said, my favorite one-hit wonder ever.